horror games have the ability to make us soil our shorts or bore us to death. And watching a trailer isn't the best way to know the games will deliver the bone-chilling scares. To help you out, we played 3 potential fear-inducing games to see which one is the most terrifying for your time. Pull on your bloody overalls and get your blood pressure meds as we compare Infliction, Made of Sker, and Blair Witch to see which horror game is the scariest. Welcome back to No Time Gamer, the channel helping your gaming sessions be time well spent. The first game lurking in the shadows is Infliction Extended Cut. The story is pretty simple. Your wife calls and says she forgot her plane tickets at home, so you go back to look for them and become trapped in the home of what seemed to be a pretty normal family, but is stricken by horrific tragedy. The longer version includes unraveling and revealing disturbing tales of murder, abuse, addiction, occult rituals, and more. Turns out it's not really just about finding some misplaced airline tickets. The game plays pretty linearly, but leaves you free to do your own exploring and looking for clues to fight through the tragedy that took place in the home and free yourself. Since this is a video about horror games, we should cover some basics. Jump scares. This game offers plenty of them, but the way the setting morphs from a single family home to a cultist ritual sanctuary to an insane asylum back to a home again, not in that order mind you, means that the game is constantly playing tricks on your mind. In my opinion, the game would still be pretty haunting even if it served up less jump scares. The characters that you'll encounter along the way are enough to make you want to turn the lights back on. The best part is that the game only takes about 3 hours or so to complete, so while it may not offer a lot of replay value, it's the perfect choice for the busy horror fanatic. The next game to stick its hand up from the grave is Made of Sker. Remember when we said watching a trailer isn't the best way to judge a game? Made of Sker is the perfect example of that. The game's trailer implies that it would require you to keep a few extra pair of pants on deck while you play. However, I discovered that this game is a total letdown if you're in the mood for a good scare. Sure, the faceless enemies look pretty disturbing. We're not saying we'd enjoy seeing them in our dreams anytime soon, but really, that's about all the game has to offer. It plays like a glorified escape room. There's very little plot, and it doesn't offer any kind of psychological element that's going to play tricks on you. We encounter the occasional jump scare and experience some anxiety from time to time while navigating around the blind enemies, but it doesn't justify this game as a worthwhile horror title. Another big drawback is that Made of Sker doesn't have autosaves, so if you forget to use one of your manual save points throughout the game, you're SOL and will need to pick back up from the last time you saved manually. Trust us, if you're looking for the best bang for your buck in terms of thrills in a short amount of time, you're better off passing on this title. Finally, standing over our shoulder in the mirror is Blair Witch. This game is nothing short of a horror masterpiece. It offers an unnerving look through the eyes of a cop suffering from PTSD and his canine companion Bullet on a search for a missing boy in a very large forest. The game starts off kinda slow, but once you hit the first twist, the story becomes a roller coaster. It offers everything you would expect from a really solid horror game. Tastefully done jump scares, mind-bending mystery, terrifying enemies, and a general feeling of uneasiness. Let's put it this way, when you get to what you think should be the end of the game, you'll be satisfied by the scares you've just experienced, but that's when things start to get really spine-chilling. For lack of a better word, the end game is where things start to get freaky. I was left thinking about this one for hours after it was over. The best part about Blair Witch is that it has several alternate endings, which are unlockable by making different decisions throughout the early parts of the story. I don't want to give too much detail about this, but when you unlock what I thought was the main ending, you'll figure out that you've been manipulated the whole time, leading you to where you end up in this version of the story. This makes the replay value very high. Once you're armed with this knowledge, you can try to fight back early the next time through and see what can change. This game is the longest of the 3 titles we've covered, but it is the clear-cut winner because of its unique gameplay elements, replay value, and sheer nightmare-inducing qualities that all horror games should have. What is your favorite horror game? Let us know in the comments. While you're here, why not check out one of these videos right here?